The NHL Four Nations face-off game last night, the championship between the USA and Canada, had some pretty record-breaking viewership. The game clocked in at 9.3 million viewers with 10.4 million viewers at the peak, and this was the largest audience for a non-NFL event on ESPN+. What's interesting is that while I was talking about it yesterday, one of the things that I really found is that people find it easier to clock in for something like this than they do for the entirety of the NHL. Some people who are new to hockey find it hard to tune in and get excited with the number of games that there are, on top of trying to find a connection with players and start to understand the league as a whole. Four Nations had a very easy solution to that, which is pretty much the Olympic solution. Put everybody on a team that connects to their country and allow people to jump in for a small tournament. I think this was great because it did allow for a lot of new hockey fans, as well as sort of reinvigorating a current fan base. People were even able to change their opinions on certain players that they normally have issues with because of their current teams in the NHL, and just enjoy them for this particular tournament. I'm thinking particularly of Brad Marchand, who played on Team Canada and usually plays for the Boston Bruins, and had a lot more fans than he usually does. What was really cool about this tournament overall was seeing people who weren't necessarily super into hockey finding a way to get excited about it, and feeling like maybe it was a little less overwhelming than getting into hockey overall. And I think the ratings make it clear that we're going to continue to see this type of behavior. Not only is the NHL finally sending players to the Olympics again for the first time in years, but they're also starting up the Hockey World Cup. So now moving forward, this year we had Four Nations, which was sort of a teaser. Next year we'll have the Winter Olympics, which will feature NHL players for the first time in ages. And in 2028 we'll have the Hockey World Cup. What we might start to see is that this every 2-year cycle of having a best of tournament between the Winter Olympics and the Hockey World Cup really starts to be a big factor in making new fans. Because in a best on best tournament like this, the gameplay is always exciting, the stakes are always high, and it really invokes the same type of intensity as a playoff run. I think this is actually a really good sign for the next few years for hockey and for the growth of the NHL fandom. I'm curious for you whether you are a hockey fan long term or a new one. How did the Four Nations Cup stack up for you? Did this feel like a new way to get other people into hockey? Did it change the way that you view certain players, at least for this tournament? And did it make you more excited for the rest of the season?